Now on CoastTV News.
The home business debate in Lewis may finally see a decision tonight after more than a year of back and forth, the changes that could be on the way. Affordable and workforce housing projects are popping up all across Delmarva, and starting today, a local beach town could be the next community to join in.
And it's a gloomy start to our week here on Delmarva, tracking even colder air moving in tonight into our Tuesday. Wind chills in the teens and 20s by Tuesday morning.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. Today is Monday, November 10th. I'm Grace Eckerly and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. Starting off by taking a live look into a little bit of a gloomy Rehoboth. And Chris, it's Monday, it's a start to a new week and a much colder week at that.
That's right, Grace. Unfortunately, we can't carry those 70-degree temperatures we had over the weekend over to this week. It's just kind of a raw, cloudy day out there. We had some showers this morning. The main batch of rain came overnight with that front pushing through. The front's now well off the coast, and you can kind of see this spin, this upper level low across the Great Lakes. That is pulling in that colder air, and that cold air mass is now pushing to the east. You can see temperatures right now are generally in the mid to upper 40s, but we are in the low 30s well back off to the west. There's those gloomy skies in Lewis, 48 degrees. Temperatures right now rather uniform, 47 Dagsboro, 46 Milford, and we are at 46 in Georgetown. Winds have picked up. We're now seeing gusts 24 in Salisbury, 23 Indian River Inlet. So it's going to be a rather breezy, raw afternoon with temperatures hovering in the upper 40s. And then we fall to 42 by around 7, and it gets even colder overnight. We'll dip into the upper 20s, but really the story is going to be those wind chills through the morning tomorrow are going to be as low as the teens to the 20s. I'll have details on how long this cold weather sticks around coming up in my full 7-day forecast. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And it's our top story this morning, an ongoing debate surrounding home businesses in Lewis. According to the city's meeting agenda, they may change the rules about these home occupations tonight. The debate in Lewis has been going on for over a year, and last November we actually spoke with a woman at the heart of this debate who wanted to run a dog grooming business in her basement, but said that because kennels and groomers are roped into one category under Lewis code and kennels aren't permitted, she was denied a license.
This whole process has affected my life because now I have to travel back to Virginia to my old grooming salon and start working there, and I travel there quite frequently back and forth, and I'm away from my family. I'm away from the American Legion that I'm a really huge member of.
Tonight's meeting could change the animal kennel part of the city's code to exclude grooming, as well as changes to other sections. And the draft ordinance also categorizes home occupations into no impact, low impact, or potential impact based on factors like number of employees and parking. Happening today, affordable and workforce housing are growing housing types on Delmarva, and Rehoboth Beach could be getting involved. Information is set to be presented during a meeting later this morning. City Manager Taylor Tedder says the city could use these types of housing.
Yeah, we definitely have a need for workforce housing in the city. We have a lot of seasonal employees, and of course the high cost of housing in this area is really an issue for some of those workers.
The Delaware State Housing Authority will give a presentation to Rehoboth Beach commissioners during a special meeting later this morning. That meeting took place at 9 a.m. Looking across Delmarva, a young child has died after a crash Saturday morning in East Market, New Maryland. Now that's according to Dorchester County Sheriff's. Dispatch calls say that the 2-year-old girl was run over by a car. The Maryland State Police crash team is now helping sheriffs investigate what happened. New today, the Ocean View Police Department is hosting a training for emergencies involving working dogs. Happening this morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Right now, Ocean View Police will host a live K9 diesel high-fidelity K9 medical simulator demonstration. People say that the training will let participants perform realistic trauma care on a lifelike dog model, including airway management, wound packing, and hemorrhage control. The free demonstration is open to canine handlers, search and rescue teams, emergency medics, and veterinarians. It all takes place this morning at the Ocean View Police Department. Now taking a live look into Washington, D.C. on your screen now. This morning, senators reaching a tentative deal to reopen the government. Overnight, a procedural vote passed 60-40, with 8 Democrats crossing over to support it. The bipartisan agreement still needs a final Senate vote and then will need to clear the House. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the full process is expected to take days.
This morning, compromise in the Senate, moving the nation closer to ending the longest ever government shutdown.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
A group of Democrats negotiating with Republicans agreeing to fund the government through the end of January and certain departments like agriculture through next September, ensuring SNAP low-income food benefits would extend that long and end a growing crisis over food access.
I was being threatened to be taken away from them as long as this went on. That's crazy.
The deal would also reverse shutdown layoffs of federal workers and guarantee all federal employee back pay. But what it does not include has Democrats divided. Nothing on health care or extending Affordable Care Act subsidies.
Over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act.
Democrats who voted yes say tying a government funding vote to the health care issue simply wasn't working. This agreement includes the promise of a Senate vote on the Obamacare subsidies by mid-December, before they expire at the end of the year. And Democrats argue if Republicans vote it down,
they can own the disastrous premium increases that will continue to rise. They will own the fact that Americans across this country are going to lose access to health care.
President Trump and Republican leadership projecting confidence.
It looks like we're getting close to the shutdown ending.
I'm optimistic.
Though several key steps remain, most notably securing passage in the House, where many Democrats are already voicing opposition. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up after the break on CoastTV News Midday, big changes could be coming to Georgetown's East Market Street. A new plan promises more affordable homes, but first the town has to change the rules, what cottage housing really means for your neighborhood.
Mostly cloudy skies in Cambridge. Temperatures there 47 degrees and will hover right in the upper 40s to right around that 50-degree mark through the afternoon. It will be a breezy afternoon with gusts to 30 miles an hour. PJ Walker, Millsboro, Delaware. Congratulations on winning an umbrella from CoastTV. We'll talk about a cold night and a blustery Veterans Day ahead coming up my full forecast.
Georgetown leaders are expected to consider adding cottage housing developments off of East Market Street. The goal of Little Living LLC, a Delaware-based nonprofit, is to provide 22 affordable housing units to people in the area. But before all of that happens, Georgetown needs to amend the current urban residential 1 zone to allow cottage housing developments. Monthly rent for 1-bedroom homes will be $950. The 2 bedrooms will be $1,100 and the 3 bedrooms $1,200. All of them include utilities and internet access. The board member and secretary of Little Living says the nonprofit has received loans and other donations to help fund the project.
All this is meant to fit in within their existing income so that they can then spend the rest of their money on health care, automobiles, taking their kids to events and so forth.
Important to note that there was a public hearing for this idea on October 27th, and leaders in Georgetown will meet again today at 6:45. Coming up next, Chris Mastrobono, there he is in the CoastTV First Alert Weather Center. He has your full forecast of this colder weather after this.
We had a cold front push through in the wee hours of the morning. Ahead of it, we had some pretty good rain and even some hail with those storms late last night. Now we're just left with some mid to high level clouds across the area. We're beginning to thin those clouds out west of Delmarva, but there's the cold front well off the coast and the cold air back off to the west, and you can see it funneling over the warmer Great Lakes lake effect snow. And there's that dome of cold air centered through much of the Midwest and the Tennessee, Ohio River valleys, and all this is shifting to the east. See those mostly cloudy skies in Rehoboth, 48 degrees, so rather raw feel out there with that northwest wind. Temperatures right around 47 in Milton. We're at 47 in Seaford and 46 in Georgetown. You can see the winds have begun to pick up out of the northwest. We're seeing gusts 23 Indian River Inlet, 23 in Ocean City, and 24 in Salisbury. So we have a gale warning up for the entire coast of Delaware. This runs through 12 o'clock on Wednesday, and then the gale warning extends from Ocean City through Chickateague. That runs through 7 o'clock on Tuesday for those winds as high as 35 to 40 miles an hour. We have a freeze warning. Accomack County, the growing season has ended for most of the peninsula. That's why we don't see a widespread freeze warnings, but we expect those temperatures peninsula-wide to dip below the freezing mark tonight, except for the beaches. We're looking at temperatures hovering in the upper 40s over the next few hours, then we'll fall to 39 by around 9. You see overnight lows, the winds will subside a bit, and we fall to 29, Georgetown 28, Greenwood 31 in Selbyville, and 33 in Rehoboth Beach. Partly cloudy skies overnight. We'll see a mostly sunny Veterans Day, but a very cold one at that. It's going to feel more like December and January when you factor in the winds. Winds will gust upwards of 25-30 miles an hour through the afternoon, and then they'll relax a bit before ramping up into tomorrow, gusting as high as 40 miles an hour. There's those wind chills by tomorrow morning, feeling more like about 17 to 25, and then by the afternoon, well, it only feels like 35 degrees in Georgetown. And there's a broader look at those temperatures through tomorrow morning by 3 a.m. And there you see by 6 a.m. feeling like 23 degrees with an air temperature of 32. And then by the afternoon, you can see only feeling like 34, 36 through the afternoon, despite those air temperatures getting into the 40s. The good news is high pressure builds in through late week, and we stay dry, and it's just a brief shot of cooler air because we moderate those temperatures and we get them back up to around 50 to 60 degrees by the end of the week. A chilly raw day, 50. Can't rule out a stray flurry, especially the far southern reaches of the peninsula. We fall to 29 on a cold, breezy night, 45 for our Veterans Day, and it will be a cold Veterans Day at that. 57 by Wednesday, mostly sunny skies into our Wednesday, Thursday, and then by the weekend, we're looking at highs in the mid to upper 50s. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And now a local giveaway is helping families get ready for some of that colder weather we've been mentioning, and kids could go home with a brand new coat this weekend. Organizers say that families can stop by the Greenwood Public Library for free winter coats for kids thanks to a partnership with Operation Warm. The library says that the giveaway will take place on November 18th from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and coats will be handed out while supplies last. Coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 8 p.m. UMES men's basketball hosts Shawnee University, then catch the final score at 10:30. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Well, if you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, here's what's coming your way. If you're a golfer, you definitely want to check out what's going down at Eagles Landing Golf Course. Also, that holiday stress will be here before you know it. Our friends at Soleil Studio have some ways for you to stretch, sculpt, and sweat your way through the de-stressing of the holiday magic, if you will. And we've also got a joke jar for you since it is Monday. All of that and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you there.
Happening today, Rehoboth Beach is expected to consider awarding a contract to install bollards behind the bandstand and in front of the bathrooms on Rehoboth Avenue. The city also wants to build a swing gate that will go at the entrances before the bandstand circle. The city cites safety for the plans, but local businesses say they feel shut out by the plans, even starting a petition against it.
I think it's just common sense. If you're going to do something that's going to affect the businesses, you should, I mean, you probably made your decision up, but you need to at least talk to people and find out what the businesses think.
According to city documents, a company called Concentric Security says it can do its part of this project, but not all of it, for $612,000. Now, that contract was discussed this morning at 9 a.m. Happening today in Rehoboth Beach as well, officials set to review traffic closures put in place for the summer concert series. And according to a presentation, what it would take to make it a permanent practice. The presentation shows that currently parking is prohibited starting at 6 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for 39 concerts over the span of 3 months. Photos you see now show crowds filling the area even into the road. The presentation says to formalize the closure, the city would need to create new parking zones in its systems, amend codes, and add 1 handicap space. We'll be right back after the break on Coast TV News Midday. Delaware Tech has officially opened the John and Elsie Williams House Museum and Conference Center in Millsboro. It honors one of Delaware's most respected political leaders. The restored 1927 home was donated by the couple's daughter, Blanche Baker, to preserve her parents' legacy of service and integrity. The museum highlights Senator John J. Williams' 24 years in the U.S. Senate and Elsie's community impact, while the new Conference Center will be available as a rental and host public year-round events.
See, windy conditions across the Delmarva Peninsula. I'm looking to Lewis, 47 degrees. Not much in the way of rise as far as temperatures are concerned. Mostly cloudy, wind gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour. And you get your latest forecast as always by calling our First Alert weather phone. I'll have a look at that 10-day forecast coming up next. Well, it's only going to be getting colder from here on for the next 24 hours. We're going to hover in the upper 40s near 50 degrees. Winds gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour. We're down to 39 by around 9 on our way to lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Can't rule out a stray flurry, but by Tuesday morning, we're going to be dealing with wind chills in the teens and 20s. It's going to be a blustery Veterans Day across the peninsula, feeling more like December. But the good news is it's not an extended stretch of cold. We're going to see those moderating temperatures, and we're going to be in the upper 50s by Wednesday, and sunny skies for the rest of the week. It's going to be a nice dry week. Just have to get through the cold here over the next 24 to 36 hours, you know?
Chris, I have to say, I'm kind of with you. I'm a little jealous of all the other areas in the country getting snow this morning. I think that would just be so pretty, but fingers crossed, maybe a chance of flurries, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chris, for that, and thank you for joining us on Coast TV News Midday. If you like more local news or weather, you can download our Coast TV News app, and don't forget to join us back here in just a few hours at 5 o'clock or this afternoon. And until then, have a great day.